Must be Chainscrape. Jaruf said I could get my bow upgraded in there. I'll be able to tinker with my other gear, too. I can grab this from my stash later.
Outlander approaching. Is that the Savior?
Wanna come in, Savior?
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jor's orders.
Good enough for me.
By the Forge.
Petra?
Aloy, what are you doing here? About time there was something worth looking at in this dump.
It's nice to see you, too.
And not a moment too soon. Come on. Damn brewery's the only thing I can count on in this place.
Yeah, I heard. Machines, work stoppage.
Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chainscrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The Bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him,
Yeah.
but he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh,
There's an embassy at Barren Light I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flamehair, good to see you. You've got to move on.
Petra.
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
Well, this Olwen guy sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
I'd live in a forge if they paid me enough. With a hammer in this state.
Cool. Till Oven blows that whistle, no one's working it.
Almost ready to go?
Shop looks closed.
Yep.
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
Contents of the vat you fell into. You said you could taste his legacy. Every sip.
It'll make her mad.
This should be useful. Now I just need to find Erend and help him clear the bristlebacks.
Hey, I thought you'd left by now.
Hammer isn't gonna kill you.
Bit busy now, but we'll talk soon.
His problems here about.
Must be someone. Around here worth talking to.
Tell Petra I say hi. You're up on your feet again.
Hey, Milda. Milda. Took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hole.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Olvin didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you?
Oh, yeah. But the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount. They feel so...
And if you refuse?
I make meals. No trouble.
How did you end up in...
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile, if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildif. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
Already got enough bitter leaf. Just need to hunt for some wild meat and grab a metal panel from a scrounger pile.
Hey, Lloyd. Change your mind about that brew? Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
Ha! There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristleback... Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could Bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the Big Butt realized it was running smooth, heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they'd been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around.
So about Ulvund.
Around here, everything's...
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need... So he jangled purses all over Maine, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what...
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Ulvund has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an Elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by,
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tenakth original, straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tenakth like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. Remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to attack. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes, that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget. These are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I'll see you later, Aloy.
We are on the same side here, Olaf. The bristlebacks threaten us all.
Oh, drop the act. We all know it was the Carja who let the bristlebacks in.
What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the Savior herself. Walloper of Derval, Gutter of Hughes.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Ulvund Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion.
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment when my fellow laborers are being intimidated and taken.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Oseram gamble with their lives. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the works?
Indeed I did. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal I'm not risking
Fair deal? You mean you're...
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Carja land, shouldn't a Carja be in charge?
The sensibilities of good Oseram folk. You think a Carja can head this? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few.
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chain. I mean, I'm practically its... And its honest folk know I'm indispensable to...
You said you founded Chains...
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren... I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same. You could say Chainscrape is what...
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profit...
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was, is to look after the well-being of these...
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town. But with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent all.
I'm going to clear out the bristles. And when I'm done, this valley is going to get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these...
Just be ready to blow the whistle. Better see what that Carja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Drinks later?
Corvin and the others are doing better than I am.
What happened to you?
That damn mine is what happened to me. It won't be the last injury if Ulvin keeps shoving those tongs in.
What mine?
Northeast of Chainscrape. I told Corvin we should stop when the first cave in, but... Ulvin probably...
How about you slow down and take me through it? You mentioned you were injured.
Yeah, a couple days ago. That's how I hurt this blasted leg. Corvin and the others were opening a new vein while I was checking on an older one. As soon as their blast hit, Tom might have dodged it if I wasn't running on barely a spark of sleep. We were pushing too hard and too fast.
And you're afraid Corvin and the others might not be as lucky.
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail right on the head.
How come Ulvin's in charge?
Try telling Ulvin that. He brought in all the backing to get him open. Fire and spit.
Who's Corvin?
He's their foreman. And the kind that knows how to deal with management when it gets unreasonable. But Ulvin... Corvin's been doing his best to appease. He even blamed himself for my injury, when it was Ulvin.
Sounds like a good guy.
That's why we all put up with the long hours and lousy conditions. But if the whole mine becomes unstable, I'd rather suffer Ulvin's wrath than die.
I could check in on your crew.
I'd run to get another drink.
Savior, over here. Savior, thank you, and my condolences that you had...
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's...
The idea that the Carja purposely let Bristlebacks... It's completely absurd, but the louder and longer he said, the more support he'll get for his damn...
How did the Bristlebacks...
No one knows for sure. But unless they have wings, I don't see how they could have come over the mountain.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is Barren Light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a Help me shut Ulvund up.
What is this
He wants the Sundom to only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands...
Exactly. With the dog... He could secure more investment for their new...
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom... Hence, why the concession is... And why blaming the Carja for the... No matter how absurd...
How did...
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of... It was an honor. Is an honor.
But your job would be a lot easier, like Ulvund blasting hot air.
Ulvund's not go. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies him. Oh, I'll find a way to live with. I have to.
How does blaming the Carja for the bristle...
Look around. This may be this claiming that the Carja loosed the bristleback. Oseram laborers, well... Let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocity, and with the Ulvund has plenty of time to pick at Ben.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed...
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren...
You said the Bristlebacks were first...
Yes, according to one, said the ground trembled before they came He took off and ran all...
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Carja, and maybe then he'll actually focus on...
I just want
on me. I can send it to my stash.
Throw me a... I dare you. He already started walking. And I'm missing.
Dead machine. It must be a bristleback. Maybe Erend took it down? Bristlebacks must have got these Oseram. I hope Erend and the other Vanguard are okay. Ground soaked with acid. Did the bristlebacks do this? I think I can climb up this cliff. I wonder if there's anything interesting at the top. I've learned to override machines and cauldrons before. I wonder if they're running out here. I'll keep some extra on hand. Should be enough wild meat for Mildef. Keep these on me. Scroungers. Mildef said I could find a metal panel in one of their scrap piles. Stash this away for later. No metal panel. Better check another scrap pile. I think I have everything I need for Mildef. Good thing, too. I can use a decent deal. This'll make a good dye. Get this from my stash when I need it. You look edible. Once you're cooked.
Ah, there you are. I happen to receive another visit from Ulvin himself. He was pushy, but I stood my ground. And dare I say it, I even got my own back. Yes, I did.
I'm listening.
When I made his meal, I used 3 pinches of salt. Instead of 2.
Each journey begins with a single step, I guess. I think I have everything you asked for.
Then just as you have inspired me, let us see if I can return the favor. Time to cook.
Wow. Mildef, that was inspired.
Next time you want the best provisions, you know where to find me. And your next order of any dish will be on the house.
Thanks. And don't forget to stand up for yourself.
Funny you should say that. As it happens, I'm already cooking up my next portion of resistance. Hope to see you again. Back for that free meal? Go on, peruse my menu.
Might be a good idea to stock up on some food before I head back out. See what else Mildef's cooking up.
going on your travels.